Hey, SideQuesters, and welcome to this SideSesh show, the first episode of the new VR talk show from SideQuest, where we will be discussing trending topics in VR and spotlighting some exciting VR titles, share SideQuest related news and tips, and also invite industry professionals to join our discussion. So, since this is our very first SideSesh, I am more than happy to introduce our co-host. Please welcome ORLA. ORLA is a COO and co-founder of SideQuest. There would not be SideQuest without her, and we are really excited to have you as a co-host. How are you doing today, ORLA?
I'm good, TETIANA. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Glad to have you on the show. And another co-host is KELLEY. KELLEY's our developer relations manager. She works closely with the developers of all the apps that you can find on SideQuest, and that's a lot of work, and she is great at it. Really happy to have you as a co-host as well. KELLEY, how are you today?
I'm good, Tatiana. I'm happy to be here, and I'm excited to talk all things fitness and VR.
Yay! Thank you. And I am the third co-host. My name is TETIANA, and I'm the community manager here at SideQuest. I'm also the host of our SideQuest YouTube channel, and often I'm the person you interact with on the other side of SideQuest social media channels. And today we're going to dive into the topic of fitness and VR, and we have a very special guest with us today, Dr. Harold Stengel, the managing director of Five Mind Creations, the company that created PowerBeatsVR, a very impressive high-intensity VR fitness app that you can find on SideQuest. Harold, it's a pleasure to have you on our show, and how are you today?
Well, thanks for having me. We are very honored to be here on your very first show, and we're all doing good. Thanks.
Amazing. Thank you so much for joining us. And if you're watching this, definitely stick around for our discussion with Harold about Powerbeats VR. And at the end of the show, we'll also give you some tips on some great VR fitness apps, give you some useful recommendations on using SideQuest, and announce an upcoming giveaway. So definitely watch this till the end. And how about we start off this show by sharing some of the VR games or apps that maybe you have played or have discovered recently and would like to share with the community, because it's always fun to discover something new to play. So I can start if you don't mind, because I actually found a very fun little game recently. It's called Shores of Loki. Currently, it's a Steam VR game, but it is going to be coming to SideQuest and AppLab very soon. And the best way to describe Shores of Loki is really, it's puzzling places in 3D. And I know puzzling places is already in 3D, but if you think about it, it's more like an image of a place or a location or an object that's made like of paper. You know, it's not an actual 3D rendering, it's photogrammetry. But in Shores of Loki, you're actually putting together the 3D rendered pieces of these objects or locations, and you're creating this entire world around you. So basically, you're creating the universe of Loki. And it has the same feeling of doing puzzles and creating things, but it's only 3D, and it has this really beautiful, magical vibe to it. I love puzzles, like flat 2D puzzles. Puzzling places in the Shores of Loki is my new favorite. Keep an eye on it. And ORLA, what have you been playing lately?
So I took a little time out at Christmas, and I decided to try some of the 400-piece puzzles on Puzzling Places. So funny enough that you happen to mention puzzles. That's what I do to relax. And I have to say, I had been getting like a little bit better at the puzzles, like the smaller puzzles. Like I could start to do them without like using the reference images. So I thought like, okay, I have some time. I'm going to try the 400-piece. And I'm not even joking. It took me like 8 hours to do the puzzle. It was really intense. At one point, I nearly gave up because I was like, the pieces just don't fit. This is broken. And then I took a time out, had a cup of tea, came back and finished. So I've actually done 3 of those 400-piece puzzles now. So quite obsessed.
Wow.
Quite obsessed.
Is 400 pieces the biggest one you can create?
Yeah, it's insane.
Okay.
It's like, it is a lot of, time consuming.
Well, yeah, that's super ambitious too. What's cool about Puzzling Places is that there are also some objects, not just places. One of my favorite one was the kimono. That was really unusual. You're just putting together a kimono. So that was really cool. KELLEY, what have you been playing lately?
It's funny actually, because I feel like before our big fitness talk here, we're all kind of going for more relaxing apps that we're trying, because that's what I've been kind of doing. So
Yeah.
no, the funny thing is I actually downloaded an app for my daughter. I thought she is going to love this app. It's called Space Slurpees. I don't know if any of you have played it, but
Oh, yeah.
I thought my daughter's 14 and I was like, she is going to love this. She's going to be able to play it all the time. And it has turned out, yeah, she does actually love it, but not as much as me. I became addicted to this app. So basically, it's very like Snake back in the day where you'd play it on your mobile phone. So I have the whole nostalgic feel to it and everything like that. So I am loving playing that at the minute. And I think it is the kind of app where you can just chill out and take some time to just play it and relax. Now, don't get me wrong, at times it gets so competitive that I am on my feet and it's not as relaxing as I think it should be, but
Yeah.
I honestly just love playing it, and it's one of those games that it's easy as well. Everybody can kind of join in the family, and you know, it's a great starter game for VR as well if anybody wants to try it. Yeah, it's one of the apps that I'm definitely addicted to, I have to admit, at the minute.
Do you play multiplayer there too, or are you single player?
See, I'm such a competitive person. The multiplayer has ended up annoying me that I'm just like, no, I'm just competing with myself. Otherwise, I'm going to get annoyed. Like, I'm trying to do this to relax. So, you know, I don't want to be like arguing or falling out over scores. So, no, I try and do it myself. But yeah, maybe I should get into multiplayer more and see that aspect of it too.
Yeah, it actually can be pretty fun, but I think that in multiplayer mode, there are still a lot of kids playing it, because anytime I get it, and I don't want to get like a big head or anything, but I win every time. Like, they're just not very good. I don't know. Maybe I just
Hey, you're the person that would annoy me in there, Tatiana. I'd be falling out with you.
Oh, come on, stop it. But yeah, I really like Space Slurpees as well. It's fun and it's relaxing. I do think we're into relaxing games when we're not working out in VR. How about you, Harold? Are you playing relaxing games, or are you more into some more dynamic titles?
Well, it's quite funny because I feel I blend in here quite well. So the game that I recently played was also something which I would rather put on the relaxing end of the scale. Mm-hmm. So it was A Fisherman's Tale. Don't know if you've heard about that. So I bought it quite a long time ago and finally found the time to play it, and I loved it quite a lot. It's a puzzle game, so not like a puzzle you put on your table, but more like escape room type of style, I would say. Mm-hmm. It had a very specific type of gameplay with a matryoshka mechanics in there. So like you're playing a character which sees itself inside a puzzle version of, or like a miniatures version of themselves. And you also have the world around you, which is then the big scale version of yourself. So everything you do happens at multiple times at once. So in the miniature style, and then also in the world around you. So quite interesting. And it's very it has a very strong backstory, also with the narrators. So it's like a combination of escape room type of style with the narrator who comes in every now and then and proceeds the story there. Quite interesting, very nicely made, I would say. So if you're into that kind of puzzling, maybe then for a change, then I can only recommend that.
You know, I played this game and I would never be able to explain it so eloquently like you did. Like, this was just a perfect description of what this game is. I don't think I would ever be able to describe the game any better. This was, a perfect way to describe it. I absolutely love Fisherman's Tale too. And the story, the plot is just so thoughtful and so deep, paired with the very unique gameplay. It just makes it a perfect game. I think it was like a game of the year, or I don't know, it won some kind of an award the year it was released. Have you played it, by the way, ORLA, Kelly?
It's on my list.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
Well, now you don't have to, because Harold explained it so well. You pretty much saw it.
It sounds like I'd need more than 8 hours for that one. That's my yeah. Maybe next time I get some time off, I'll give it a go.
And you know, that game is not even that long. I think I managed to beat it in about 2 hours. I really wished it was longer than that. But it's just so well made. You can tell that they worked so hard on delivering this masterpiece of a game. Like, it's an art form of a game. but still it's a game. It's not just a VR experience. So yeah, I
Yeah.
love it. Yeah, thanks for sharing. And I think we can dive into our main topic today, which is fitness and VR. Well, let's talk about fitness first, because we live at these strange times where our lives have changed so much with the pandemic, with the lockdown, and many of us were forced to change our workout routines. And it was the same for us as well. In our household, we had to cancel our gym subscription, and we were trying to build our home gym. But it's just taking a lot more willpower to work out from home, and I think I really found myself struggling with that, because it's just so easy to sit on your couch in your pajamas, and especially if you're working from home, getting yourself to work out can be quite a challenge and takes a lot of willpower. Is it the same for you, Kelly?
Yeah, so I think pre-pandemic, I was always the type of person who thought there's no other way for fitness. I have to go to a gym. I have to go out, get my new gym gear. I have to get my subscription to the gym, and I have to physically get there and go out. And to be honest, I did it, and I liked the feeling of after I'd done it, but it was always such a chore. Like, I honestly did not enjoy it. And I did it for years. I tried everything. I tried just going to the gym and doing my own regime. I tried different fitness classes. I would try spin classes, whatever was on in my local gym. And it was the same feeling where I didn't actually enjoy going, and it took a lot to motivate me to go. But that's just the way I thought it was going to be. And okay, I'm not going to like fitness, and I just have to suck it up and kind of do it and get on with it. And that I just accepted it. So I think whenever the pandemic hit and the gyms were closed, I was kind of like, whoa, this is a wake-up call, you know? Now there is no gym, what am I going to do? And to be honest, with so much going on in the world, so much going on in my house, I kind of just thought fitness is taking a back seat. And the funny thing was, I then started playing games. Like, one of my favorite games during lockdown was Synth Riders, and I started to realize, oh my gosh, I'm actually burning calories, losing weight, and I'm just playing this game that I wanted to play. I downloaded it because I wanted to play it and not for fitness. So it really was a game changer for me in that aspect, where I thought, gosh, there are other ways. And then the more and more that I kind of was discovering different fitness apps coming through, like one of the first ones I downloaded was Hitstream. And that was one of the first ones that I literally downloaded for fitness. That was, you know, because aside from that, whenever I was playing Synth Riders, as I say, I did just enjoy it, and it was a bonus that it was a workout.
Yeah.
So I think it opened this whole realm of opportunity that, okay, there's different apps here now that are going to do this for me. And, you know, I think it was a real blessing in disguise then to discover that kind of by accident, you know, that sort of a way. But don't get me wrong, I like being an outdoorsy person. I like going on walks, but I'm based in Ireland, so I do not get you know, the weather to kind of do as much as I'd like to do. So I find myself more and more in the VR world. So yeah, that's kind of how things have changed for me, to be honest, Tatiana.
It's a huge change, right? It's like the whole new world, the whole new VR world has opened. And I think you made a good point that there are games that were made as just entertaining and fun games that you want to play with a fitness element, maybe a little bit as an afterthought, but it works for people to stay active, to, you know, get out of the couch and burn some calories. But there are also apps that were actually designed as fitness apps for people who like it to be a little more deliberate. So you really can find anything there. So there's something for everyone there. I really like that too. How has it been like for you, Orla? Have you found some favorite fitness apps in VR, or has your workout routine hasn't changed that much?
Yeah, I don't do gyms. I've never done gyms.
I understand
that's not a thing for me. But yeah, I find myself in lockdown kind of just no freedom. I kind of wanted to just be like outside of my house, but I didn't, you know, I had my Quest 1 at the time. I didn't, you know, Quest 2 wasn't even released. And I was like, I need to like get out of this house mentally, even if I can't physically. And so, yeah, I just started to explore what was on offer. And one of the apps that I came across was VZ Fit. And where you're like cycling through Google Maps in VR, and I got so obsessed with that. I'm not even joking you. I was on my bike like 3 times a day. I was like, because I
Leg
can't
day
even
every
cycle.
day.
I can't even cycle in real life. I'm like too scared. The roads are too scary. Having an exercise bike and being able to cycle these like incredible highways. I was like in New Zealand, I was in Norway, I was like doing all these mad things. And it really opened up my eyes to fitness. So back from like 2019, I've been like, fitness in VR is going to be huge. I can't wait to see what people do. And so over time, you know, I had like Fit XR, Hitstream, you know, Real Fit, VR workout. Like I was trying all these different apps, and I was also playing things like Sense Riders and getting the value out of those too. So I really love fitness in VR, and so that's why I was like super excited to see Powerbeats come out. I'm like, yes, another one. Woohoo! Get to do this again.
Yes, let's try.
Because you guys know, right? You have Supernatural in the US, Tetiana, right? But we don't have that here, and it's probably
That's
like
right.
one of the like big ones. I haven't been able to try it to compare with it,
Mhm.
but honestly, like the quality of like a lot of the fitness apps I'm playing, I'm just like so blown away. So yeah, I'm really excited about fitness in VR, and it's changed me for the better.
So you've been sampling a lot.
Yeah,
of
oh
VR
yeah.
fitness apps. Have you tried that game that was called Happy Run?
Oh
think it's
yeah,
called
I
Happy
love
Run.
Happy Run.
Yeah,
I love
it's just
Happy Run.
it's just such a fun, way for you to run on the same spot, or even run on the treadmill, or like a stepping machine. Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
And you're just running through these beautiful environments with ambient sounds, or with some kind of songs that they have in the app. So I think that's really, just really relaxing to be there. And I was always very skeptical about running on the same place. I just felt like, it's not working out. You're not doing anything. But try doing that for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, with a quest on your head, like the weight of a quest.
Yeah, it's not as
Yeah.
easy. So the Happy Run is a more relaxing one, but then another one called Ultra Real Runner. Also, on both of them are on SideQuest, by the way, if you want to try them. Ultra Real Runner has a similar way of like running on the same spot or on a treadmill, but it's not as relaxing as Happy Run, because you're basically running from something. Someone is either chasing you, or you're in this big, strange room that you need to escape from. So it's almost like an escape room in VR, where you're running on the same spot and you're running in VR. And also, if you're jumping in real life, you're also jumping in VR, so you can jump over some obstacles. And that's just such a cool idea, I think, because it gives running a purpose in a way. If you need to be running from something in order to work out, this is the game for you. So, I mean, I know that we are going to have the discussion with Harold about the big app that your team has developed. But in general, would you say that, how do you feel about working out in gyms or at home or in VR? Like, do you have a preferred way that you work out?
Well, so for me personally, I was going to the gym quite regularly before the pandemic hit. So it was for me like 3 to 5 times actually per week. And then actually, well, obviously that came to a grinding halt beginning of 2020. But I was more on the end of like trying to build up muscle. So that kind, and I always hated to do cardio. So I can be very open about that. So like going on the treadmill was always something that I really didn't want to do, rather than elliptic maybe then, but that was always something I didn't really enjoy. So like finding an alternative to like the boring old cardio thing, that was something I was really into. And one good thing is we were already deep into the development of Powerbeats when the pandemic hit. So like we started early 2018 already, and we released on PC VR end of 2019. So there was already an alternative, at least for the cardio part there. But like I agree with you, like for other things, it's a bit hard to either have the equipment at home, even have the place for putting equipment there at home if you want to go more in the direction of building up muscle, and then also getting the motivation. Like it's for me, it's also a bit easier to like go out of the door and go to the gym and actually be there and then exercise there, and then also at some point being done with that and coming home again. It's simply different if you like have no place to go for a certain time. But hopefully that will be over soon.
Yeah, hopefully it will be, but it looks like our habits of working out in VR will stay, because now we're getting addicted. not to pay gym memberships and working out in VR. And so since you started talking about Powerbeats VR, would you like to tell us a little bit more about this app? Because I played it, we all played it here, but nobody will be able to describe it better than you. So would you like to tell us and our viewers a little bit more about what Powerbeats VR is all about?
So maybe first start off with the marketing slogan. So Powerbeats is a full body, high intensity virtual reality fitness app that actually moves your whole body, not only parts of it. As I mentioned before, it's an app which focuses more on the cardio part of workout, but with the very special intent of actually making you forget that you're working out. So that is like this idea of immersion in VR, which gives you an app which is entertaining and moving your body at the same time, so that you don't really feel that you're doing the workout, at least not while you're doing it. Like afterwards you will feel it, but like as you're while you're keeping going there, it shouldn't make you forget, at least to a certain extent, that you're actually working out there. And that was also one of our main intentions when we were building this game. So if you don't mind, I would give you a little bit of background story maybe for how we came to that app.
Yeah.
So as I mentioned, we already started beginning of 2018, and we came from a quite different direction actually. So at that time, a colleague of mine was doing EMS workouts, so with the suits, with the electrodes which stimulate your muscles. And we came up with the idea to combine that with a VR app, like so that you could do have the immersion of VR and also have the muscle stimulation at the same time. And then we developed a prototype for that. So we teamed up with the German manufacturer of those suits, and we've built a prototype for that. And we went to the FIBU. Don't know if you've heard about that. That's like I think it's the world's largest fitness fair, which is held annually in Germany. And then we had a booth with them there, and we showcased our prototype, and many people were quite interested in that. And most notably, there was a mother with a young child, like 12 years old or something. And then she said, and the child loved our game, and he couldn't stop playing. And then the mother told us, "So I'm so happy. I tried everything to get him to do some more sports, and he just didn't want to do anything. But now he's playing your game." And they came, I think, 2 or even 3 days in a row. And he was complaining about muscle aches now that aching muscles that he was playing your game, but he still wanted to come back and play again. And like that was one very I think important point where we realized the power of immersion in VR, which lets you forget that you're actually working out. So afterwards we discussed whether we wanted to continue with those EMS suits. We figured out it might not be the best idea because they are pretty expensive actually. So we decided to rather change the direction a little bit and then started developing Powerbeats in the direction it is now. So a standalone virtual reality game. And then we had the full release end of 2019. And it was also pretty clear to us that the standalone headsets like the Quest are the way to go. So from there on, we proceeded with the porting to the Quest. And now, thankfully, a few months ago, we could fully release it also there. And I think the rest you have seen already yourselves and experienced. And we are pretty happy to hear that you also like it.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I like it a lot. And I actually cannot really imagine working out with cables being attached to the computer. So I'm sure that was the main goal, right? To make it completely standalone, untethered, to have full freedom of movement when you're working out. And what I actually love about Powerbeats VR is how highly customizable it is. It has all these little elements that you don't normally find in similar boxing type games, where first of all, I think it has the leveling or gamification system where you unlock stuff in there. So the more you work out, the more things you get to unlock. And it really appeals to people who like this gaming style workouts. So you unlock different gloves or hammers or shields or something. And it just makes it more fun, motivates you to work out a little bit more, right? Have you tried the app, Orla? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I was very sore the next day. Actually, yeah. We can share some footage, if you want, of how bad I look when I'm exercising. But just a warning, it may scare small children. Like, but yeah,
We're showing
it's
it.
really cool. And I'm the same. I like that gamification stuff. It kind of gives me like something like to level up. I really need that like level up kind of feeling. So yeah, I'm a big fan.
Yeah,
I think one thing is, Harold, like what you were saying really applied to me, because I think sometimes when you're in the house, it's the same as motivating yourself to go out to the gym. To motivate yourself to do an actual workout in the house is just as difficult. So I think whenever you do kind of play an app and you forget that you're working out, you know, you can just really immerse yourself in the fun aspect of it, and before you know it, half an hour's passed, 45 minutes have passed, and you know, you don't feel like it's been a big chore, and then it is the next day feeling like, okay, that actually worked, my body's sore, it's done something. So it makes you want to then obviously do it again. So I love that, because I think if it's too kind of you know, too focused on the actual fitness aspect in an app, then it kind of would make it more hard to kind of be motivated to pick up the headset and play it.
Yeah. And so the thing that whenever I talk about fitness with other, VR users, if someone's asking about them, and this is probably one of the most asked questions on Facebook groups and stuff. People are asking what VR games are there for me to work out, for me to actually get into fitness. And I think this is great because it expands the public. They're using VR from not just gamers, but also to all people who want to stay in shape. So this is great to have the variety of these workout apps. And actually, there are quite a few people that would prefer to have a gamified style of workout, but at the same time, there are people who wanted to feel more sports-like. So, like Supernatural or Les Mills, I think they feel like this is just a this is gym. This is a VR gym. You're not just playing games. You're actually like with your coaches working out. And I always recommend Powerbeats VR as the game for people who enjoy this fantasy-like environments and game-like vibe, for people who enjoy that kind of gaming. And I actually wanted to ask you, would you, we already mentioned so many different workout games as well that are out there. There's a huge selection, which means that there is some competition for you. What would you say would be some, as you were developing this game and are still developing it, or have there been any challenges or something that you tried to do differently, especially when compared to other VR workout apps? What makes Powerbeats VR different?
Sure. So we definitely had a look at the competition out there, and more often than once we were compared to the competition, and there was the question like, what's the difference there? So for us, the main difference is the customizability of Powerbeats VR, and you already mentioned a little bit of that. So we have quite a lot of options which you can use to tailor the game to your specific needs. Like you can adjust it to your height and to the play space you have, and we have quite a bunch of modifiers which can make the game harder or easier. And then there is, like, I'd say in the same direction, there is the feature of that you can use your own music. And I think that we are very special with that. I haven't seen that. Well, there are other games which have something slightly similar, but like I think we're pretty unique in the way we're doing that. So it was quite clear to us that we won't be in the position to deliver chart music for licensing reasons. But on the other hand, also we decided we actually didn't want to do that because people have different tastes in music. So that's why we have this generator and the ability for you to use your own music and just work out to the music you love. Like we've seen so much feedback from people who say, finally, I can do workout to my favorite 70s or 80s music. So that's really another aspect in that customizability that we see as our main selling point, actually.
Right. Yeah, I love the the ability to customize everything about your workouts, and that map generator is pretty. It's very precise too. It's very accurate in detecting beats per second and just mapping those workout levels pretty much perfectly. So I was really impressed by that as well.
And we're not at the end of the road here, so we're still working on that, and we're gonna improve that even more in the future. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah. Speaking of going down the road, would you like to share any plans for the future? Is there anything that you're working on that you would be able to give us a little bit of a scoop? What's the future like for PowerBeats VR?
Well, so obviously I can't go into too many details here on
A
this
little
topic.
bit.
But a little bit definitely. So in general, we have an open feedback platform for that matter, where people can put in their wishes for the future, and we're collecting it there and seeing what users are asking for. So that's definitely a place to go. Either if you want to see what's coming up potentially, or if you want to give us feedback, where we're always happy about that. So besides the improvements on the generator, which I already mentioned, another aspect is also that we are working on finding ways to integrating streaming, because that is the second most asked feature here that people like. I mean, I'm a little bit older now, so I'm still from the age where people have lots of MP3s on their computers, but many of the younger people don't have that anymore. They are just listening to music via streams. So the request of integrating streaming platforms is we have heard that quite a lot, and we're looking into that. To be honest, it's not quite easy. Also, once again, for legal issues there, but we're definitely working on that, and hopefully we will come up with a solution for that.
Wow.
That's pretty exciting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Looking forward to that. Thank you for sharing this with us. Exclusive on SideSesh. If you haven't checked out PowerBeats VR yet, go ahead and download this app. The link is in the description to this video. So yeah, make sure to just check out see for yourself what this app is all about. Now that we've already given you so much information about PowerBeats VR, thank you a lot for sharing this, Harold.
I have a question.
Yes.
So basically, how mad do you get on a scale of 1 to 10 whenever people say that fitness in VR is not a thing? Because I've seen crazy comments in the Facebook groups blow up, or people are like, "Don't be stupid, you can't use VR for fitness," and even I get a little bit mad because I'm like, obviously you can, but yeah, how does that feel for you, Harold?
So actually, I'm a pretty relaxed guy. So I would say that just gives me maybe a 4 or a 5 at most. but I think usually the answer there is maybe just give it a try then, because I think that mostly comes from people who just they talk about it, but they haven't really tried it. So yeah.
Yeah, I can honestly say it's one of those, since I'm in the channels all the time, right? Because I like to stay close to things that are happening. And I would say the number one question that people asked, since getting their new headsets at Christmas, is hey, what are the best fitness apps, right? Mm-hmm. And the good news is I always see Powerbeats in there. So kudos to you. That's a really good sign this early on. But yeah, genuinely, it's clearly doing something, because everyone's asking and talking about it. This is a real thing.
I really think it's all coming from the stigma that VR is just for gamers, and there's nothing else that you can do in VR. So I think the apps like that, the fitness apps like that, are helping to change the stigma in a way that would bring VR to more of a mainstream community and making it maybe a more important part of our lives, especially if it helps us stay fit, helps us stay healthy. So yeah, thank you for the great app. I use it a lot, actually. I do like working out with PowerBeats VR because of this immersion, so it doesn't feel like working out, because I don't like working out. Thank you so much, Harold, for sharing all of this with us. I'm sure that our viewers are very excited to try it after the end of the show.
Well, thanks again for having me.
Yes, absolutely. It was our pleasure. And we have already mentioned quite a few workout apps in this show today. So let me just give you a nice little summary of our top 10 games that you can find on SideQuest and have a really good time working out with. As you know, here on our SideQuest YouTube channel, we always showcase the best VR apps that you can find here, and you will find our top 10 lists. And one of the most recent top 10 lists is the top 10 fitness apps. So I'm just going to show you really quickly what kind of VR apps for fitness you can find on SideQuest from that list. We've got, of course, PowerBeatsVR, the star of today's show. Make sure to check it out if you haven't already. There's also Hitstream, an app we've mentioned on the show, a great workout game that supports 360-degree rotation mode. Crazy Kung Fu, which is also a very active game that will help you practice coordination and train your reflexes in addition to cardio. Next is VR Workout Bootcamp, which is pretty much your personal gym in VR with a huge variety of exercises you can do. Happy Run, the relaxing running game where you can enjoy beautiful sceneries with ambient sounds or music by running on the spot or on a treadmill. Tower Workout is a great app if you have some experience with shadow boxing and workout training. Ultra Real Runner is another running app I've mentioned earlier where you can run and jump to escape from different rooms. Andromeda Sports allows you to take part in challenging obstacle courses and even play asynchronous multiplayer with your friends. X Fitness is another rhythm-based boxing game where you can punch, cut, block, and dodge. And finally, Song Beater, yet another very well-made boxing game with lots of environments, songs, 5 difficulty modes, a dancing mode, and a multiplayer mode. You'll be able to find the links to all these games down in the description, so make sure to check them out if you're looking for more VR workout games. And as a wrap up for this session, we are going to share some of the tips that would be helpful for you to know about using SideQuest. And now we'll give the stage to Orla to share them with you. So what do you have for us today?
So let me see, which tip should I go with today? I may have more than one. Can I have more than one on the first show?
Sure, because that's the first show. We need to give more.
Awesome. Well, I guess tip 1 would be not everybody knows that you can actually change your custom home. That's like the space that you go into first when you put on your headset and where you bring up your screens to view your libraries and things. Actually, SideQuest has over 100 custom homes that you can install onto your headset via sideloading, and basically change up your little personal space in your headset. So we've actually released a video, which you can find in the links below, which teaches you how to install custom homes. It actually got changed recently, so it's a little easier than it used to be. So for people who had tried it before and maybe couldn't quite work it out, now there's an easier method. So check out the video by TETIANA on how to do that. Another thing that SideQuest is great for is customizing your settings on your headset. So believe it or not, you can play around and experiment with some of the basic settings like frame rates, etc. And SideQuest allows you to change those. So again, we'll have some videos to follow up with to show you how to do that. But for now, you just set it for side loading, and then you can go in and you can experience your games, some games in better detail. So that's pretty exciting as well.
Oh yes, these are the basics that you need to know if you're using SideQuest. These are amazing features that you cannot get in any other way. So yeah, we're very happy that we're able to offer this to our users. Thank you for sharing this, Orla. And Kelly, do you have anything to announce to us today?
I have some super exciting news. Yeah, I'm so happy to be able to offer a special giveaway. So you've all heard about Powerbeats and how amazing it is, and 10 lucky winners are going to be receiving a free key to try that game for themselves. So yeah, I'm so excited to announce that. It's going to be running over on our SideQuest community Discord. So the link for that is going to be in the description below, and you can check that out. And we would love for you to come and join our SideQuest Discord in general. It's a great place for all things VR, and we do run weekly giveaways over there as well, which is great. So go ahead and enter, and good luck for that.
Yes! So now you get a chance to try PowerBeatsVR for free if you win the giveaway. So don't miss the chance. Absolutely join our Discord for to meet some like-minded people who are really passionate about VR and about fitness and just all kinds of VR experiences. And of course, if you are not following our social media pages already, please do that as well. We have some exciting announcements and gaming spotlights. So if you follow us, you will be on top of those most recent news as well. And of course, our YouTube channel, where we post tutorials and gaming highlights. These are all great outlets to follow as well. Drop us a comment below and let us know what you think about working out in VR. Do you have a favorite workout app? And also if you have tried PowerBeats VR. And also let us know what other topics you would like us to discuss next time. Again, thank you so much for joining, everyone. Stay safe and see you next time. Happy side questing.
Bye.
Bye.